then another sheet of another napkin up here top. There's still more.
To be just another
End of the day. End of the day.
Use the body, now you want my soul.
Alright, what's up, y'all? Happy Thursday. We're live. We're together. Let's have a good time. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. I'm feeling aligned, super aligned today. Sound. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, guys, like as you approach today's session, the rest of your day, just think about what it would be like if you were absolutely aligned with the highest version of who you're capable of. That's it. That's in my opinion, that's how you get what you want in life, right? That's how you become more and more magnetic. You're more in aligned. You're at high frequencies when you're just in tune with what you know is the utmost standard, the highest level of yourself. Everything else is the dissonance. So let's lock in. All right, so I see that we're all on the same page this morning so far regarding metals and taking a trade here. So I do like it. I like gold taking out liquidity here. We take out London lows, New York lows. Got a pretty big move here. Overall, you have silver as well. Did make a nice wick down. Definitely not as intensely as gold. So we'll kind of see what has a better opportunity here between gold and silver. But even now, if you just kind of see the way that the market's moving over here, you'll notice that they are pretty similar right now. I'd say like gold pumped up quite a bit higher, so we got a bigger push, but now we're coming down to this level. So sub 50%, 618 pullback, not quite like, we like to see the market entice sellers. So now that it's starting to break lower, this is typically where I would want to take a trade. Honestly, I think I want to see an entry below this 618 here before taking anything. If you look at silver, right, silver is not really pushing down as much, as aggressively. The pullback is a lot less intense. So I'm pretty open to it. I might even just stick with silver on this one. We'll kind of see how everything comes together. But right now, I do think we can maybe go further down here. So let's see, right? Let's just see how much more bearish things get. But as of right now, we are noticing gold has a slight, just a little bit more bearishness to it. I feel like silver's gonna end up picking up and dropping a lot more. So I have both ideas. I'm gonna set limits for it, and then, or I'm gonna set the risk reward tool for it, and then we'll go from here. So somewhere around here, I do like entries, and if you zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to kind of see, okay, is there another level? Yeah, if you're looking at maybe CFDs, or continuous chart, it looks like equal lows, but this is definitely not equal lows to me by any means. But yeah, we have other levels of support in the past. If you look over to structure, it's sitting more at like 50.94, 50.97, and then where we're at right now, right around 51.13. So I'd say take this based off of, where you have more conviction on. I want a lower entry in this imbalance right here around 51.05. I like this price much better. So 51.05, 51.04 looks more likely to me. And look at how silver has now kept pushing lower. So this is at least giving, for me, green light on gold to take the position. Whether you're getting in earlier or you're going to get in with just a little bit more of a push down. I like the risk reward if we go further down. So I am going to set the limit here. And I'm willing to go one more unit over here. So this is my entry. I got 3 micros on gold. I'm gonna stick to that same entry. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, let's see what happens. See if we can get down there. Otherwise, if you already took a trade in here, awesome. Just understand what your risk reward is, where you want that to go, and then what's likely to happen today. So if we zoom out, let's start zooming out a little bit. What we have noticed is we've cleared quite a bit of liquidity here. Unless you're talking about equal lows way down on the 1 hour, like way over here, then yes, I definitely see that. Cool. Okay, I get that. But I'm not focused on that right now. That's not the setup that I have in mind at the moment. So if I am going to think about targets right now and where can the market lead to, I think the first and just high probability exit is within this imbalance in the 5150s. If we push higher though, I don't see us having tons of liquidity up here, so I'm okay with just taking my money if I get triggered in and just trading into the imbalance. There's a chance maybe we clear London highs or something, Tokyo highs, but like the market is moving downwards pretty well, and as was mentioned, we do have other incentives down here, so I'm okay with an intraday profit here, taking out these highs, trading into imbalance. So I like our chances here. Let's see if we can work our way further down. And this is all before New York Open. All right, all before New York Open. Got in too early. Thankfully, I aborted that at break even. Okay, cool. So where did you take an entry? So maybe you had the market chopping up in here and you took it in maybe like this order block right here or something like that. I could see maybe that's what you were looking for. Yeah, with shakeouts, if you have a huge imbalance, they do like to go lower into that zone for sure. Okay, so that puts us there for gold. So we'll have that set up and set in stone. I'll have an alert here if we start to go lower. I'll also have an alert if we start to break out higher. So this might trigger already for, this could just keep ripping. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just playing my odds, my risk reward that I like right now. So while that's setting up and while that's continuing to form, let's go take a look at indices, right? So we've had Dow keep working its way down and down and down since, where are we at? Since London, right? We've just been trading lower. I actually saw, I think I woke up at, I forgot what time, but I don't know, where was it? Okay, anyway, whatever, regardless. There's a nice sell-off starting like right over here, dumping the Dow's move. So we see that last push down before we rallied. So I could definitely see buys wanting to be in the game here from down over here. Right, from over here you start seeing everything sell off before getting a continuation. So there's definitely some buying opportunities over here. However, we're going to have to look at NASDAQ and S&P as well. The market is refusing to make higher highs yet, so we're still seeing bearish price action. And I mean, just look at how Dow, let me just double check here. Yeah. Look at how Dow just clears a ton of liquidity with this move during London. I mean, this just lures in so many buyers and then just pulls the rug. So this pulls the rug on everybody. We might be seeing a potential sell here. We'll look at a couple other things, but yeah, pretty big move. Market chops up before continuing. So if we do end up trading below New York lows here, and we just, we kind of just maintain these lows, we might be looking for sells a little bit later on, whether it's 48,700 or whether it's a little bit higher. But there's a little bit of there's some opportunities here. So we'll see. Right now, you know, NQ, S&P, and Dow all broke the lows, except that Dow is the only one that went even another step lower, breaking New York lows and really not coming back up too quickly. So sells, at least for now, they're not confirmed. I'm not like, okay, 100% I'm going to sell Dow or any of these indices. I want to see a bit more price action down here. I want to have the market prove to us, no, there's demand at these levels. If there is, then cool, we can be golden. Now, to zoom out a bit more, zoom back out here with me in NQ. Remember that those Dow buys that you guys were just looking at, right? So there's these, Dow is pushing lower and lower and lower, and possibly, you know, has that setup all the way down here. This is the low from yesterday. No, not yesterday. Tuesday. This is Tuesday New York session low. NQ and S&P are very far from this. Very far. You have yesterday's New York open right there. You have a couple zones from Tuesday as well. Wednesday Tokyo session. So there's a lot more traffic, if you will, with NASDAQ. There's a lot of key levels that I think we're gonna have to bounce from first. So as we're trading in these regions, and you know, we're starting to see what I would call a distribution with NQ, with S&P, with Dow. You know, I think we are going to keep going lower. These zones, before you get to the extremes, if you're going to look for buys here, I just wouldn't go for big risk rewards like this. If this buy plays out of here, catch a 2R, you know, catch a bounce. Once it starts slowing down a little bit, take the profits, because more than likely this wants to just work its way down to the extreme again. So you're kind of looking at, you know, the market here breaks above. Okay, you get the distribution, so you can get something like this, here, 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 before it can continue going higher. So something like this, I think definitely has potential. So can we make money off the bounces? Sure. I just wouldn't be so ambitious with the profit target. That's really the only thing that I have in mind right now on the big picture with NASDAQ. So while we have New York open here in the next 70 seconds or so, let's see what happens. So see how this opens. Right now it looks like there's a more likely of a chance that Dow will go up a little bit slower and give us the selling opportunity. And you actually have like the mitigation within the mitigation going on over here. Okay. So I have alerts here set in case we work our way back. We've got, you know, Dow over here still chilling. Okay, meanwhile, gold here is starting to go higher. So we're starting to see a decent rejection. The idea is still valid for me unless we take out these highs. So if we start breaking and clearing some of these highs, then cool, I'll delete the idea. The trade ran without me. But if from here, New York Open maybe brings us back, then that's a different story. So I'll check back in here with metals in a little bit. Okay, New York Open, Dow pumping up a tiny bit, NQ a little bit more. Okay, let's see it unfold. Pretty mellow. Dow holding the structure down. Okay, so further confirmation, in my opinion, that this is looking pretty good. Here's the question now. Within this range, how do you approach your entry for a short? Do you trade it from over here? We've had below the low. We've been sitting here for 35 minutes for Dow. S&P and NQ, I'd say it's a failed structure. If NQ and S&P failed for the structure, how confident do we feel about Dow holding the structure down? Even though it's been 30 minutes or so below here. If two other ones aren't giving the best, I think we'll have to see here. But this requires a little bit more time. What doesn't require more time is gold. So look at gold here, guys. Gold is working its way down one more time. So let's see if it's going to be enough to push us lower. Silver here below a 618 towards a 71. Gold below a 51%. So I think we can clear these lows and let's see if we can get tagged in here. So, okay. I have a limit set. If I were you, I would probably have pendings in this environment so that you can just make quick decisions. Just in case it wicks down, you're just ready for opportunity instead of having to make decisions, having to scramble and get something done. So if you do agree with the position, then I would at least have something already set in stone, so you're not like I said, so you're not just scrambling for an idea here or something. Okay, so gold's chilling. Okay. Indices are climbing a bit. At least Dow is working its way upwards a little bit here. So here's the thing, right? Are we going to reject, the fact that this clears yesterday's New York lows and then is now reversing? Is that more of a red flag, right? Is this actually setting up for what I would consider a shakeout setup for whether it's S&P or it's NQ? So it's like S&P and NASDAQ clear the lows and then instantly are ripping higher. Dow clears London lows, trades below New York lows, and then also quickly coming right back up. So it's again seeming more like the intention is less about bearish structure and more about liquidating buyers. So I feel a lot more inclined to look or wait for some sort of pullback so we can take another position here. So for example, if we were to have, and I'm not taking sells here, guys, no estoy vendiendo nada. This to me is the intent here. It looks like the sweep intent is for liquidity capture, not creating, not to confirm a bearish trend. Shakeout by potential. Okay, so that's how I'm looking at this here. Now, the market seems to be leaving opportunity here for buys. I'd say this is kind of just the zone, the move overall. A couple hours just grinding its way down. So I am open to it. If we just keep breaking through this, then whatever. I can't really chase that. But yeah, very very much super volatile. Now things can change if, let's say, Dow works its way lower again, and we just, I don't know, we just stay down here for longer. Then cool, I'm more open to selling. But right now, it seems like the movement to the downside was solely for liquidation purposes. So I'll come back down to this. I'll come back to this. Let me set some alerts in case we start to work our way back here, and then we can be ready for something. Now, gold did give us a pretty good reversal. So after this first push down that we got back over to here, came up immediately. So if this keeps going, oh wow, silver with a big move now. Wow, so silver looks like, okay, silver came and filled the imbalance, came back up, pushed down. So it seems like silver has now taken out liquidity here. Takes out liquidity. This looks like it's just done the shakeout completely. Okay, so let me keep an eye on what's going on here then. Gold hasn't. Gold is basically creating more trendline liquidity. So we got more of that in here. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, how is silver moving? So now you can see silver is not dropping the same. Like it's obviously clear liquidity, came right back down. I think if you're gonna take a buy, so like for example, look at how now silver is playing off a structure and imbalance. What I was about to say is there is a chance that gold just wants to trade out of here now that silver is playing into an imbalance, possibly mitigating over here. You might see this just rebalance and run, or the other perspective is silver just wanted to take out liquidity before continuing to work its way down. So I want to see how silver keeps trading. I might actually just delete this right now. Gold has not, huh? I might just cut my risk in half on gold, just because it's working its way down now stronger than silver has. Like now there's definitely a difference over here. Gold is trading pretty low here in structure, whereas silver is like right over here. So I'm gonna dial my risk back for now. Alright, so I'm actually gonna just trade with one contract here. So look at how it's breaking. This just broke the liquidity. It's going towards the entry. Silver also going towards down to this zone. So 71% pullback now here on gold. I'm at a way more reduced risk with this. But look at how aggressive silver now got as well. So yeah, silver deep pullback now. It's looking like pretty decent. Okay, so I like the way we're getting rejections here. Just comparing between silver and gold. I'm gonna add one more contract to this if it tags it back where we had originally set the limit, and we'll see if it can tag, if it'll tag me in again. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, that's cool too. All All right, so I'm in with 2 contracts now. And this is just assessing what's happening here with silver and gold. I kind of wanted to see what the difference was going to look like. Starting to get a good enough rejection. Right now, our stops were about 175 points. Right now, we're up about 100, give or take. Gold actually starting to push a bit better than silver now, bullish-wise. Okay. So gold shakeout definitely has potential. I'm triggered in here. Cool. All right, so the second thing is, right, so when do you go break even, right? When do you go reduce risk? Like, what does that really look like? Typically, what I like to do is basically once you take out like a previous high, in shakeout example specifically, is when I'll start looking for tightening my stop. Now, I've been doing some more back testing and just more forward testing, just taking trades and kind of seeing a certain behavior. And what I am noticing is that if you get triggered in and you get into profit, if the market starts to like fill an imbalance, a lot of times that's all it'll give you. It'll rebalance and then just keep going down. So like you might be able to actually reduce your risk if it starts to fill an imbalance completely. So I haven't incorporated that into my system yet, but just something that I'm noticing with trade management with this specific entry model. So, you know, I'm taking my time with changing anything. I think people rush to make adjustments to different parts of their trading system based off of like one time they won't notice this one thing. So I prefer to kind of build up quite a bit of evidence before, you know, starting to change anything. Yeah. So right now, silver, gold, I don't know if one is more bullish or bearish than the other. I'm keeping things relatively the same for now, though. Okay. All right. So this is being copied over at the moment. Here we go. Let's see, gold, silver, they're pretty similar. So I'm not really leaning in like that one has a better chance than the other really. Yeah, so right now sitting a little bit under entry. This would be the chance to go full risk with this idea now if I wanted to. Originally I wanted to do that. Like that was the idea, but the reason I'm not overextending is like since silver took out liquidity here, like this would have been, if I would have just traded silver alone, this would have been like part of the like move stop to entry. So I'm okay with where I'm at with risk right now. Yeah, I feel okay with that. And that's part of the thinking process. Like you have to think risk and capital exposure first. Not like, oh, what would I love to make? If becoming a profitable trader was all about what you would love to make, then it would be full max contract, max margin, and I would love to make more, right? But it's not. It's definitely not. So we gotta be able to be diligent, locked in, capital preservation first and foremost, entry model, quality of setup opportunity, and then from there be okay. So with this idea right now, the fact that we're kind of moving sideways, squeezing a little bit, some people fear that. I actually like that, because if it goes in our favor, like, you can't lose more than what you've already planned to. So, it's like, that's it. It is what it is there. But you can, if it squeezes, then there's more orders building up, which means that we can get a bigger breakout, which can lead to a better profit. So, I'm okay with what we're at right now. What we can do here is we can start to take a quick peek back at indices real quick. So while gold is doing its thing, we saw Dow trade upwards a little bit, traded kind of back into the open, right, just into here. This to me doesn't really look like mitigation, but like, this is now giving us more insight that this trade can actually be bearish. Like, if we do come back here later, this could sell off. Look at how NQ definitely mitigated this move. I had drawn it out earlier. So NASDAQ rejected this pump here, which is what pushed the market down right now. So pretty decent. Some of this intraday small time frame price action is, I guess, playing out okay. And then Dow is confirming more and more for sells later. So cool. This is looking okay. Meanwhile, right now, you see how I'm looking at Dow when, let's say, gold isn't, like, I'm not staring gold down. So you do obviously want to have a good pulse on your trade, especially if, how you move your stop loss obviously is really important, and what you need to see for that to happen matters. So, but if you have to have your eyes on the market in general and you're not in a trade all the time, then you're wanting to hold on. You're wanting to, you believe that control comes from staring down these candlesticks, when that is unfortunately not the case. If it did, then we would all just be like glued 24/7. So definitely not gonna be as useful as you may think that would be. But that's why we do it. If you are struggling right now to just let go and live a little bit, sometimes it's because that's on the forefront of your mind right now. So you got to give yourself the ability to just let the market go and do its thing. So let's look at gold and silver, both starting to push up a bit higher. Okay, so this is good signs right now. Curious, let me know in the chat if you're adjusting stops yet, if you're keeping things the same, or if you just avoided this trade overall. Also, let me know. Looks like silver is starting to fill some of this imbalance, gold as well. Okay. See if we can rip from here, take out this liquidity. About 100 points above right now. Back and forth and back and forth. Okay. All right, so we'll let that do its thing. Just gonna go double check Dow. So remember, we're looking at Dow Jones and indices overall, and we're not just looking for possible sells. We're also looking at where could there be buys, opportunities, right? Buys would really come a bit later, and that would how we'd have to work our way. Still, in my opinion, the buy that I like the most is this shakeout buy. Now that we've cleared these lows, we've been chopping up and down over here. If we get NASDAQ to trade back down here real quick, then that would have been a fantastic buy. We'll see. I wonder if we get that. I'll have an alert if we start to work our way lower again. But look at the difference. NQ is holding like it's bullish. NQ is bullish this entire time. Still trading above the open right here. Whereas Dow is struggling. So it looks like the Dow sell is going to be something I'm more leaning towards now. And then with that being said, refining the entry is what matters here. So this is where we get that next leg up with Dow. Using this as a stop, I think is a little like this is a 1 minute time frame setup. Something like this. I think you're definitely at risk of, like, it's a higher losing probability, but there's definitely, I mean, money comes in here. It's a clean 110 point move. So taking a sell in here obviously has a great risk reward potential, but you have another idea overall, which is when the market starts to pump from over here during a London session. So you have basically two trades in one. These are two different trades. What kind of exposure do you want to have? Here's how I would tackle it. Here's how I will tackle this on. I'm feeling I like our chances on it rejecting this. So I'm okay with taking this position. I'm going to risk half of what I typically risk on this 1 minute time frame entry. And then the big picture sell, this bigger one here, I want to see that trade play out as well. And I think that we can work our way down, honestly, pretty significantly. So I think we can work our way down today. Like, we could fill a lot of this. I think we'll have a lot of volatility. So if I'm going to take a similar trade here, but instead of using this as a stop loss, I would use this as a stop loss. And this already made a good retracement. It's a pretty healthy price action. So just to reduce my stop, I'm willing to risk it. That's a 200 point stop. That's pretty massive. But I do have the big picture in mind today. So I do have this distribution type of schematic in mind. So that's really what I'm looking to trade. So I have half risk on both. If things go well, then, you know, we could see a pretty nice trade. Half R. So if you're risking what you normally risk in half of it, let's say your normal risk is $100. If you risk 50 and you catch a 10R, then that's $500. It would be the equivalent of a 5R with your full risk. So yeah, I mean, we got some options here. I'm open to it. I think every time we break below, though, we kind of keep failing to maintain structure. So that is what I don't like about price action right now, is that the lows are out here struggling. Yep, every time we clear, it just goes right back up. NQ and S&P definitely, leading the way here. Looks like S&P was the only one that came back down enough for maybe some of you took a shakeout there. NQ though was really the bull, so that's what I would have preferred buys on. So I'll keep an eye on here. If this right here again, if we come back down, all right, I like Dow sells. If we don't, then I might have to reevaluate how much risk I want in total with sells on Dow today. Because if we just are struggling to maintain any of these lows, then I don't like my odds as much with sells. And I might actually just do quarter risk here for a total of half risk. Because again, I want good setups. I want great setups. The market can tease you with mid, okay? But is that what we're really going to, is that what we're going to drop down to? Mediocrity? I don't think so. Meanwhile, gold is chilling, dude. Gold's just big chilling. The big squeeze. Big breakout coming. So worst case, you lose whatever you decided you were going to lose. Best case, it rips. So cool. The more the merrier for me at this point. Really, I mean, unless there's a little bit of slippage, like you can't really lose that much more than what you plan on to. But in order for wins, like the bigger trades here are more than welcome. And this is a 3-hour trade. So 3-hour trade. We like 3-hour trades. I wouldn't be mad about a 3-hour trade. So let's see. Right now we're squeezing quite a bit. What do you want, gold? What do you want to do here? And then if I lose here, I'm losing like 200, I think, maybe. Give or take. No, a little more than that. Just kidding. It would be like 360. Okay. 2 contracts. It's like 180 point stop. Yeah, like 360. So I'm in like 3/4 risk right now, give or take, right around there. Okay. Let me look in the chat, guys. I'm not here. Just not even ignoring y'all. What am I doing here? What's up, Cesar? De Juan, what's up, man? Que Dios te bendiga. Igualmente. Drevis, Carlos. Yo, big shout out to Carlos. The boy got funded last night. Another syndicate member funded. I think that's like, I don't know, 15 or 20 y'all in the last like 10 days. Absolutely epic. It's like, maybe you're learning a duplicatable system and model or something crazy. What up, Kevin? ¿Cómo estás? Melara. Saludos. Harshi. What's up, Joe? Brandon. Edwin. Alright, y'all. This is all this. Gold Talk. What up? Carlos. Vergaras. Luis. Happy Thursday, brother. Seth. Rafa. Caius. What's up, G? Karen. What's happening? Alright, let me catch up. Patrick. How are you enjoying the fast track, Patrick? Shout out to all the fast track traders in here as well. I know I'm accelerating their journey. What's up, Austin? How are you feeling? Love the music this morning. Yeah, we went a little bit last dinosaurs, and then we really brought it back to Daryl Notes. What's up, Edgar? Marty, Steph. Hello. Okay, all right. I love all the chats in here today. Missed my entries on the moves this morning, the sells. 5 minutes later, that was the tax today, Brandon Kinder. I had a zone marked up on NQ, but I didn't like that YM didn't break the highs. Okay, cool. Silver made the move. I would no longer take gold. Okay, cool. Yeah, the most bullish in the case. Yep. Good morning. How do you get the buy box thing you drew? Yeah, so I have a tool kit right here. So I use this little box right there, rectangle. Also, if you go to right there, so you're gonna see your on the side, and then it's the one that's the brush. So it's this one right here. And then you'll see brush, highlighter, arrows, so the rectangle. You can also use a hotkey to access it as well. But just I have just my favorites on things that I use most often. I never use this one, so I shouldn't have it as a favorite. Yeah, hopefully that's what you're asking. Let's see, how do you get the buy box in? Like with the drawing with the mouse. You're not talking about the risk reward tool, right? What do you think of oil mitigation buys at 76.07 if market continues to hold above the high? Okay. Yeah, I can take a look at oil for sure. Let's look at silver and gold right now. What is the difference? Silver pumping right now. And gold as well. Silver leading the move a bit better. Okay. So if silver just took out these highs, what could silver's motive be? It just took out liquidity here, these highs above it. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to tighten my stop now. Now that silver started to take out some liquidity there, gold is running behind a little, so I'm going to go break even, honestly, on here. Price is pretty efficient. Beyond that, yeah, I'm cool with that. We're up, guys. Right now, we're up about 1.5 R. So if you like your profits, if it makes sense to you structure-wise, then take your profits. Cool. Otherwise, I do like the 3R target as well. I'm considering the fact that we're still building out more trend line liquidity. I think we could really break through all of this, but since silver was starting to lead the move upwards, I'm a bit more just mindful. Gold can take over and start pushing higher, but I'm just kind of taking it one stride at a time. Then at this point, I don't think there's any reason to continue to have anything at risk anymore. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments here. Okay. Let's see. See, look at how much silver is dropping. And then now gold is holding down a little bit better. All right, let's see how we flip over here. Let's see if we get a price action flip. Rebalance, are we going to get break and retest continuations? This is not for entries, but this is just kind of understanding how when the market moves in one direction aggressively, that means there's an imbalance of buys and sellers. So when the market typically likes to fill this back down, if we're going with the trend, that it's a better likelihood that we continue to go upwards. Okay. So remember, there's an exact system and technique that we use on when stops get adjusted. Since we've now seen the market rebalance on gold and take out the high here on silver, it looks to me like, okay, we're now seeing an exchange from sellers to buyers. So money has clearly come in. Might as well protect our capital and not just get too caught up on needing the trade to go our way. Like there is a moment where you go, okay, the market did go my way, but till what extent? You know what I mean? And you can't just marry the trade. So look at how much this is dumping back down. Like, okay, that's fine. I am okay with getting stopped out on this and profit or a break even, and then whatever happens, happens. All right. So like we just saw this break above, didn't hold the demand very well. So the likelihood, this could still play out, I guess, but it's not looking great. But that's why we do what we do. We might survive this bad boy. Looks like it. Woo. Just barely. You got stopped out? Dang. Break even? I mean, it can still come back. So, but anyways, 1.5 Rs. Like I mentioned, exits in this imbalance weren't a bad idea by any means. Did anyone take profit early? Like you might have saw silver do its thing and you're like, you know what? I'm good. So look, I got stopped out break even here. That's cool with me. We're chilling. What's interesting is that, so look at silver. Silver is still kind of playing back and forth in this range. I don't really have the desire anymore to take a position. Like we already broke above where we had liquidity 2 times. Gold hasn't though. So that's the one thing, like a part of me feels like it's gonna break these lows and then go, because gold just keeps basically building out more and more liquidity over here. So there is a part of me that's like, are we just gonna sweep these lows and then make a move down here? But silver has a much better, price action right now. The difference is, here's where the market liquidated. It came in to build out liquidity. We already saw it work its way down, took out the highs, dropped in, took out the highs, dropped in. So in reality, this looks to me like the market's just still more bearish. So like, if you keep thinking about doing the same thing over and over again without any new information, then what are you really trading, right? Like, what are you actually trading here? So, I mean, I see both sides, right? We haven't taken out the highs on gold, so gold still being able to liquidate this. The shakeout technically is valid still with gold. It's just silver that's not really trading as bearish. So I don't know if gold's gonna hold these levels, considering silver is like way up here still. So gold could just keep pushing and pushing, and then just not really have a chance to reverse. So I think there's better trades. I think there's trades where you have less indecision. There's less, like, you know, it's less vague, in which you could, you know, actually like take a trade. So yeah, I'd say this is no longer a good setup. You'd probably be relying a bit more on hope, like, well, maybe could, blah blah blah. How useful is that to you though? It's your money, it's opportunity in the markets. So if you're like, you know what, for, you know, whatever reasons that make sense to you, that give you confirmations to take it, then cool. But yeah, other than that, I just don't think it's worth taking again. If anything, now we for sure wouldn't take this. But now what you're honestly seeing is gold is leaving 1 minute sells behind. So now you have these, and even this pump up here and it dropped, kind of was giving a short, but yeah, cool. So this is, yeah, I mean, that was avoiding any sort of losses again. I think this was managed really well, guys. So well done if you went and followed your system to a T. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. That's how you don't just play into your desire to want to, like, I just got to be in the market. You know, like, you got to be able to to make a decision in real time and be effective with that decision. Otherwise, like, it's how much of it is just going to be hope, right? Can you have hope lead your trading? I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, that's my opinion, but you know, what do I know? Okay. So silver, maybe silver is going to do something here, but that's just you know, again, it's not worth it. But anyways, we can go switch back over. Let's take a look at indices. Let's see what indices may have in store for us today. So indices have gone back and forth here, trading to these levels. Let's see. we're seeing it, you know, go back up, come back down, go back up, come back down. So right now, I do prefer the shorts still on indices. Yeah. Cool. Dow indices have opportunity here. Okay, nothing new there. Let's take a look at oil. You were asking about buy. Okay, we were doing a lesson before. There we go. So you were asking about, I think it was Brandon, about oil buys, right? So oil had a nice moves during London. So pretty good movement here. I would see a clean spike down. Let's look at just CL. CL trades right into here. Here we go. Yeah, right into here. Trades into the zone, rebalances and rips. So this takes out Tokyo lows, and then this is making moves. So right now, yeah, if we can continue to get something like this, if we can continue to trade above Tokyo highs, confirm bullish structure, get good demand, then I totally like the buying opportunities over in this zone over here. Yeah, so we can go into a smaller time frame and refine the entry in here. So let's go like 1 minute. Let's go look at what's been happening over here. So in the one, here's where we start to see the market sell off from. So I think this is a good zone. Pushes all the way down and then rips. So solid. I agree. I think this can be a great buying opportunity. And then from here, the next step is refining. Okay, well, where in the zone do you want to take a position? You see a lot of good levels of support over here. And then also, you know, you saw some key reversals right there. And then if you look at the 1 minute, when it was making its movement, you see it starts to push up and up and up. Here's where you start to see a little bit of resistance. So I think selling or buying over here makes sense. Yeah, 75 and change. Yeah, right in this zone. I like 75, maybe 75.80. Something like this. And then the follow-up question is, well, what's the risk or reward, right? Where can you take this to? It's going to depend on how we work our way down. So that's the big question, right? How do we work our way back down? Is it going to leave liquidity? Is it going to be a spike up? Like, what does this look like? I'd say even if it's intraday, I think we have a good chance at least the 2R. So it looks decent. Yeah, this looks decent. Okay, cool. But we need this, right? We still need this next step. This isn't confirmed. This isn't valid yet. So let's leave a little text here. Go. Still need bullish structure confirmation. From here, then we'd be good. But I like the idea. I like the potential. Okay, let's see. Today's setups. We got, what's today? 5th? Oil mitigation by forming, wait for further confirmation. And then the other idea that we were looking at, so I'm going to set some alerts. The other idea that we're looking at was with Dow. And this is the distribution cells. So from here we have Dow distribution cells pretty much confirmed. All right, these are posted. Y'all can take a look at these. Let me know what you think. What's up, yo? Maya going crazy. Yo, that's a crazy one. Maya looking different there. What's up, Luis, Gabriel? Y'all are hilarious. Juan. All right. Let me unpin this, and I'm gonna pin the setups for the day. Did anyone capitalize on that gold buy? Take anything home, or just profit, stop profit, break evens? Let me know. Lonzo, you were on the wrong session for 40 minutes. Bro, what are you doing? 40 minutes. James is going over divergence with me on London session this morning. Oh, sweet. I love it. Stopped out. At break even, I'm assuming. Sweeps the low. Sell shakeout on NQ setting up. Let me take a look. Probably not. Dow's way more bearish. I'd probably lean that way. Yeah, Brandon Kinder, I totally see where you were looking for the buys on oil. $23 on gold. Hey, 23 is 23. I think I got like 38. Couple dollars. Okay. Couple of doll hairs. Okay, let's take a quick look. Did Australian end up ripping completely to your take profit, Caius? How did that trade go for you? Yeah, look at this. Beautiful. TP, the exit ideas were definitely, got there for Australian. I know sometimes some of you are like 1.5 hour away from passing a challenge or something, so that gold trade might have been enough to get you to your spot. Let me know if that's you guys. Let me know if anyone here is getting funded, paid out, guys. We'd love to see it. We want to celebrate your wins. Definitely feel free to share with us. Okay, so nothing really new with majors for me here with Australian. NZD possibly maybe forming a sell later. I kind of need more information with that. Nothing here soon with Euro. A lot of squeezing happening. Okay, CAD might be doing a little something here. So CAD has been squeezing for quite a bit, but we saw an extra nice little sweep down here. So you guys I know you can see this. Very clear liquidation of retail buyers where they have these levels of support. Following this, we saw price try to go bullish. Keyword is try. This is failing to make any higher highs, so not necessarily not necessarily doing the thing that I would want to see. If anything, this is actually now clearing a substantial amount of highs and could become a selling opportunity later. So this way sweeps a ton of resistance. This may become a sell later on. So I'll keep an eye out on this. I'll keep you guys in the loop in case this is something worth dialing back into later on. I'll have alerts on both sides. If this structure would have been more If we would have traded up here for longer, then I would be more interested in buying. But it could. Maybe we'll come back to here later on. It's possible. We've traded over to here a couple times. Just got to keep our eyes out on majors overall and see what happens when we get there. Zooming out some more, taking a look at more of the currencies. We know the yen has just been insane. And right now, we still have this one open up here. But we did see during Tokyo session a big pump with the yen before it started to drop. So I am curious about still selling the yen, especially from these higher ranges over here. The yen clears some highs and then worked its way down and is still working its way down. So we're seeing 15-minute structure bearish, and there's still incentive for this to go lower. So I'm with it. I like the sells here. I'll share this one. This one looks good. Yen sells. Let's add it to the setups for the day. So 6J, aka the yen. Remember, this is if you're trading CFDs and you're looking at USD JPY, it's going to be flip-flopped. So, yeah, sell, mitigation. So this is going to look like the opposite. So if I'm looking to sell 6J, that means that you're probably looking to buy USD JPY. Okay. That is about it for currencies. Yeah. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. Swiss franc with a massive crash out during this here. Tuesday, London drops all the way into this order block. Immediately eats that back up, trading right back into this range. You might be seeing a Swiss franc shakeout setup, maybe. I'd have to just dial back into it here a little bit later, but yeah, to recap, just fly through a couple more things. We did see gold successfully clear those lows again. So we clear the London low, London right before New York session. So we clear those lows. This trades another notch down into this level and actually takes out a bit more liquidity from Tuesday. So part of New York session. And then now we're starting to work our way up a bit more. Silver's staying within that structure. So silver's still kind of surviving in here. I'm curious if this goes lower now, though. So I'm not entirely sure what the intent is here, to be fair. But, yeah, I mean, there's... I can understand shakeout buys on gold again. We've been trading up here for the last 12 minutes or so. So somewhere in this pocket right there. It does clear out the lows from London and then proceeds to come back up here. So, I mean, it's not a bad trade. Like, this isn't a terrible trade. Yeah, taking a buy in here. This idea here, since we broke the low but came right back in, I don't love this buy. And then, yeah, I mean, same thing goes. If anything, I think you get a better risk reward now than before even. I don't think I'll trade this, though, with the same risk, like a full R risk, just because it's like this took out less liquidity. But I get it. It makes sense. Let's see. What do I get? 3/4 risk again? Do I like 3/4 risk for this? I do like this. So, I like my trade. I'll pull the trigger where we're at right now. and that's taking gold buys. Okay, yeah, let's see what we do. Let's see what we get here. All right, so approaching gold one more time, playing off of these order blocks, levels of structure, seeing if we can get a good bounce out of these levels and go from here. But yeah, that'll be all, guys, for today. It's been a good session hanging out with you guys today. We swung up to like a 1.5R with gold before coming back to officially a slightly stop profit break even, but basically all one and the same. And then we have potential ideas with oil. We have Dow setting up here for short. And then I just had an NQ alert go off, so let me actually check that real quick. NQ trading back down to where it swept the lows and then rallied. I don't love that we didn't hold any structure or anything. I'm going to stay away from this buy. There's a decent chance it plays out, but it's just not my trade to take anymore. Not following at least my set of rules, so I'm okay with missing out on this NQ buy. It is, had we had better structure, I think for longer, then I would have been more open to this idea. But we kind of failed after we got these highs, so I'm not buying NQ here. All right, y'all. With that being said, if you're not in our communities, feel free to check these out. Scan them right there. If you want to be part of the dozens and dozens and dozens of traders that we're getting funded and that are either on the brink of getting paid out or getting paid out, then guys, feel free to book a call with us to join our syndicate, which is our private group. It's all about feedback. It's all about progression and development. It's not just some random ass course again. It's like, this is how you get better based on where you're at in real time. So click that. Otherwise, join the free community if you're not in there already. And tomorrow we'll be live. So I'll be live for NFP with the syndicate group, and then I'll be live right here, right after that. So good stuff, y'all. Much love, and I will catch you again. I'll catch you in the school. So take care, y'all.